Like, my thing is, like, who am I to tell you what to get on your body forever?
Facts.
Like, that's your choice. You're paying me to do that. You're paying me for my skill, not my opinion.
Yeah.
But no, I actually flew out to San Diego with, like, $60K cash in my backpack. Through, like, TSA, all that stuff. Dude, yeah, it was crazy, dude.
Sketch.
Yeah, no, like, you know how people always give you advice or whatever, and you're like, no, I'm going to figure it out myself. I'm going to do it. I don't think that ever happened to me type of thing. It ends up happening to you. I don't give a fuck who you are. It's going to happen.
Ready, Ty?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Blazin A Trail Podcast. I'm your host, Tuck H, a.k.a. K1. Today, we are here at a tattoo parlor in the Haymarket with one of my good friends.
Yes, sir.
So, we are joined by a dog dad, a trucker hat enthusiast, sports car lover, inked from head to toe. He had to show y'all, look.
A little bit, yeah.
And the owner of the Ty Smith Tattoos Trailblazers. Please help me in welcoming Ty Smith to the podcast.
What's up?
Yes, sir. First off, I want to say I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How does your back feeling?
Shitty. Constantly just crouched over.
These past couple of years still the same?
Yeah. I mean, I used to go to like chiropractor and like massage therapist like once
a week?
Yeah, like both of them once a week. You get busy enough that I forget to do it, and then I just got to go back and like basically start from ground zero. But
Just getting readjusted all the time. I feel like that's why I'm scared to go to the chiropractor. Because if I go once,
it feels amazing.
I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. See, it feels amazing, but that's the thing is like I'm literally in this like hunched over position like this all day. It's like my shoulder. They gotta like move my right shoulder to get like muscles that are tensed up underneath it.
Got knots and knots.
Bring it. Yeah, dude, it's not great. And I used to skateboard for like 15 years, so like my shit's all fucked up.
Okay. If your body was blank right now, let's say
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Okay, I was gonna say, what would you do differently?
A lot. No, I don't know. I don't really care. Like that's my thing is like, so I have so much random shit everywhere because I just don't care. But
what is your favorite piece?
My favorite
on your lower body?
Oh man.
Because it seems like you got.
I got quite a bit. I mean, I don't know, dude. People ask me this shit all the time, and I have no idea how to answer that.
That shit's dope.
Honestly, yeah, that was like one of the first ones I got on my legs.
But the shin though.
Yeah, I did that. I did that myself, like right there, and then I did like a lot of shading on this myself. But a lot of small stuff I did myself. But I guess on my lower body, I have a Mac portrait on this side.
Shout out to Mac. Rest in peace, Mac.
Facts. And then I got this one's actually pretty hilarious. On the inner thigh, I actually did this just to fill in space.
What?
And I wanted a Buddha. I told my guy before, like, this is a guy like kind of was like a mentor to me, like didn't really teach me, but he just kind of like I was in there every day getting tattooed, and I'd randomly be like, yo, I want this piece, like let's figure out when we can do this, whatever. So I sent him a picture of a Buddha that I found, and he goes, hold on, let me do something with that real fast. I was like, all right, bet. And he sent me it literally as myself.
What the fuck?
So it's literally myself as Buddha, dude. Yeah. And people always like, they don't know that that's what it is until I show them. They're like, that's hilarious.
Got
like,
the trucker hat on too. So, okay. What is the weirdest reaction that someone's had while you like put a tattoo on them? Whether it is like they pass out, whether they throw up, whether their body just starts bleeding.
Never had anyone throw up, luckily. I mean, that would not be pretty because I can't deal with like throw up like myself. Like if they throw up, I'm throwing up. Like that's gonna be all bad. No, I've had people like I could probably count on one hand how many people I've had like actually pass out. Because normally, and this is like what's hilarious, 95% of my clients are like college age females, like 18, 25, and it's never the girls that get like extra scared. It's always the dudes. Always the guys trying to be like, oh, I can do this or whatever. Didn't eat before they came, whatever the case, and they're just like, eyes roll back. I'm like, bro, you could, like, whatever. But like, literally, like, it's probably like I've had 4 guys pass out, maybe 1 girl. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What do you do within that time? Just like,
well, most of the time they have someone with them. Otherwise, I'm just like, you kind of just have to wait, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're stressing out.
That's kind of scary.
It's stressful as fuck. Like before I had the shop, I was doing it in my apartment or whatever. And like that's illegal, obviously. So like I had one person pass out, and I was like, dude, that was the longest 30 seconds of my life. Dude, I was like, bro, this felt like 2 hours. Like I couldn't call an ambulance because then I'm just like
now
incriminating myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I was like, yo, I'm just waiting. So I offered her a banana and shit. I was like, like, do you want to finish this later? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I kept checking like every 5 seconds, like, you good?
Yeah. Like, do you want to continue?
Yeah,
right
dude.
now?
No, I mean, it's not that bad, but yeah, I'd say like pass out is probably like the wildest thing that's happened. I've never had anyone like, there's those videos of people like freaking out on the artist. I'm like, dude, you chose to come here. So, like,
you should have known.
You can't
what
freak
you
out
got
on me, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so Ty, this podcast is designed to equip listeners with a certain mindset and the perspective that can assist them with blazing their own trail.
Okay.
So they need the proper tools, and we want help. We want to help people get off the fence and take a leap of faith. So to fully understand how you got to this point, we got to understand, the key moments that led you here. So give the listeners a bit of a background on what led you here.
Okay.
So let's start middle school.
Middle school. You
Middle school to high school. Yeah. Let's do that.
Well, funny enough, like my parents, I wouldn't say they're like conservative, like, the traditional conservative type, but they're not really Republican either. They're like that fine line of like conservative enough, but like also like, you know what I mean? Like they understand. I'm the oldest of 6 kids.
Yeah.
So I was always, I was the piece of shit of the family. Like I was just getting into like all the trouble all the time, just did not care. I would always constantly, like, my excuse would be like, I didn't choose to be here, so I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Like, and my parents obviously were not cool with that.
Yeah.
But no, so it's actually really funny because like looking at my parents, they're like the basic, like, Midwest white family, like, just like no tattoos. None of them have tattoos either. Most of the people in my family don't.
They probably freaked out.
Yeah, I mean they weren't. No, not at first.
Crazy.
But no, middle school, I played sports and everything. I was like not like one of the popular kids in school or anything. I was just kind of like floating by. I went to North Star for middle school, and then because Goodrich was like overcrowded, and so like my class was the first class to enter 6th grade in like middle school. Yeah. So I was there for fucking shitty 7 years. Yeah. So it was like not
crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, but. No, I went to middle school with like the same kids I went to elementary school with and everything. So it was pretty cool, but I kind of transitioned from like the playing sports and everything to like skateboarding. Yeah. So like for a good like 2 or 3 years there, I was still skating, but like also playing sports. So I kind of just like had to find like, you know what I mean? I was kind of just like finding myself for like a long time.
Just trying different things all the time. So like, what were you thinking that you were going to do after high school?
Dude, I had no, well... This is the craziest part. So, like, I always tell everybody, like, people have asked me this before, whatever. Like, I always knew I wanted to own my own business, no matter what it was. Like, when I was getting into skateboarding, I actually almost had my grandpa help me open a, like, skate shop here in town when I was, like, in high school still. But we ended up not doing it because, like, the shop that I used to, like, work for and everything and skate with and whatnot, all those guys are homies. So I didn't really want to, like, add competition to that when we already like the skate scene.
They're close together.
It's a very like tight knit scene. Like everybody's like family in that sense. So like I was just getting into it, so I didn't want to be like the guy that you know what I mean, that would have just like failed from the jump basically. So that was kind of the thing. But like my whole thing, like I was always into like clothing and everything, like not like high end fashion, just like that chiller, like you know what I mean, like having good graphics on stuff, having like you know what I mean, like.
You cared about it.
Yeah, just like the fit and stuff like that. Just like how things fit specifically. Not even just like what's going to go on to it design wise, but like I have a longer torso. Like I wear like larges and I like to have like a slim fitting, like, you know what I mean? Type of stuff. So that's kind of like my thing. I was kind of heading, like I knew I wanted to own my own like business or whatever it was. Like it's kind of like the idea. Yeah. But I never really had like a specific, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do when I get out of like high school, like whatever. So I was just like floating by. For like a good few years, dude. Like, yeah, it was crazy. But
then what'd you do right after high school?
Nothing. So I started working lawn care. It was really funny because
shout out people doing lawn care because I did that.
That shit was honestly like, I always tell people like if I were to retire like tomorrow, like if I had $1 million in my bank, whatever, I would literally start a lawn mowing business just to like mow lawns. It's chill. It's so chill.
It's meditative in a sense. If you're on a riding lawnmower versus like you even
walking,
dude.
Yeah. Like we would walk. Like that's when iPhones first came out with that like health thing or whatever. So they tell you how many steps you're taking. It was like 30 miles a day we'd walk.
Yeah,
behind a mower. Yeah, and it was like, dude, you're staying fit, you're eating all day, whatever, out in the sun. Yeah. It was nice. It was definitely get like aggressive like in the middle of summer when you're out for like till like 8 p.m. You know, until like, the sun goes down. But no, like after high school, it's kind of funny because like in high school, dude, I graduated with a 1.7 GPA because I didn't do any homework.
You at least went to class.
Yeah, but like barely. Yeah, like I was like smoking weed, dude. I was a shitty fucking kid. But like I didn't get in any like legal trouble ever, which is good. But I just kind of like did my own thing. Had that like skater mentality, like fuck the system, whatever. You know what I mean? And
just
then
a misfit.
Yeah. So it was actually funny because like I think it was like 2 or 3 years after I graduated, I went into SEC. My brother took his ACT because he took it for free. So his class was the first class to be able to take it for free because he always had to pay for it. So I went to SEC because he got a 26 or something like that.
Okay.
And I went and took mine. I got a 28 the first time.
Oh, snap.
And then I took it again, got a 29. And literally no one saw that coming. So I was like, to everybody. And then so I went to school. Like I got paid to go to school. Like they like all those grants and stuff, whatever. I literally went for business entrepreneurship for 3 months, and I failed out. I failed out. I just didn't do any of the work. I was like, dude, this is not it. Like, I just wanted to work because they were paying for me to go, but like, I was living I was not living in my parents' house. You know, I was like, I had to like provide for myself. And I was doing like online classes, and I had ADD my whole life so bad, which is why like literally at 1 year I had 30 W-2s. I think I would start and quit a job like that. Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So like, this is a huge shock to my whole family. Yeah, like the fact that I've had this like shop and like been doing the same thing for this long without like
any
a break.
Change.
Like I work 7 days a week, so like, yeah.
So have your siblings followed a different kind of path in that?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm the oldest of 6. I just turned 30 this year. My brother underneath me, he's 25, I think. My sister's gonna be 24. Then I have 2 other younger brothers and another younger sister. They're like 20, 19, and 16. Okay. And they're like, me and my 2 younger brothers, we're pretty like into the same stuff, like working on cars, stuff like that, whatever. But they're definitely like the hick type. Like they think, like we grew up in the middle of Lincoln, but they're like hunting, like, I do all that stuff
outdoorsy,
too. I do all that. Like you grew up doing all that stuff too, but like I definitely grew up like skateboarding, like city scene and stuff, whatever. Yeah. So it's like I have like the best of both worlds, where I know how to like work on cars and do all that type of stuff. But they're like, that's it. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like drive their trucks down O Street every fucking weekend type of stuff. But you know, it's kind of funny because no one expects us to be like related. But like, yeah,
exactly.
Brothers, you know?
But that's what's up. Yeah. Okay, so when did you start having thoughts of picking up a tattoo gun? Okay, because so I know it has to be a weird story.
Yeah, so this is like the story that I've told this story 1,000,001 times, but this is like the most random, unorthodox, like out of nowhere shit, which is why it's so crazy. But so I was getting tattooed. I was actually living at my parents' house. I just moved out of Latitude, moved back into my parents. I just broke up with my girlfriend. Well, we broke up, whatever. But this was like the summer after that, and she was not supportive of it at all, which is hilarious. Yeah. But like, cause she's like, oh, you don't draw, nothing, whatever. I'm like, all right, like whatever. Yeah. And I was getting, so basically how it happened is I was getting my whole like left arm sleeved up, and the shoulder piece that I have is just a bunch of line work, like this line, like a mandala style line, basically. And it took, the guy that's tattooing me was so slow. Right out of prison, like he was working in the shop or whatever, like he was on work release or whatever that was. And he was really good at what he did, but he was just so slow. It took 12 hours.
12 hours to
12
do
hours
any
straight
project?
line work, yeah. So we're sitting in there. I'm just watching him do it. It's like we're like 5-6 hours in at this point. I'm like, yo, is it hard to tattoo? He's like, not really. I can like give you my old machine if you want to like try it out. You can apprentice under me at the shop, whatever, all this stuff. Gave me his old machine, the one that he started with. Yeah. And then a week or so later, he gets like, he fails his UA, he's going back to prison, goes on run. I'm stuck with this machine. The owner of the shop, not going to name names or anything like that, but the owner of the shop was supposed to take me in on his apprentice, right? Yeah. As like working under him and all that type of stuff. He had me working the front desk for like a few weeks, didn't pay me. And I was like, dude, like what the fuck's going on? Didn't teach me anything, you know? So I just stopped going. And the guy that I told you that was like mentoring me, whatever, he had done like a few pieces for me prior to that while he was still an apprentice. Yeah. And so I like started going back to him and everything. So I was literally just like I taught myself. Like I literally was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking try this. Like I was tattooing homies, you know, Eric Chapo, and whatever.
Shout out to
he was like the huge like practice pad for me. So shout out to him for that. Yeah. But him and I have been like best friends for a fat minute. So he was kind of like a fundamental like, you know, body for me to learn on. Yeah. And that was my thing is I literally like had no idea what I was doing. I literally just started tattooing.
YouTube videos or anything?
My buddy, no, I didn't even YouTube anything. Like the guy that gave me the machine showed me how to set it up one time. And from there, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I started buying, like, Amazon machines. I bought, like, 5 of them at once because I would just start, like, taking them apart and building them, like, when a piece went bad. I would just replace the pieces and stuff. That makes sense. Because they're shitty machines. They're, like, $20. You know what I mean? So it's, like, it's not going to last forever. But, no, I did that, and I was, like, doing it as, like, a side hustle because I moved out of my parents' house in, like, October of that year, but I was doing it in their basement, like, randomly here and there. Like, I'm telling you, like, I did maybe, like, 5 or 6 tattoos.
And during that time?
Yeah. And so when I moved in with another homie, I started doing it as like side hustle because I was working like siding and windows. I was doing like that shit, and it was winter, so it sucked. And so I was like $20 here, $30 there, you know, whatever. And this is the funniest part. So the thing that actually like got me here today, I actually almost got evicted from my apartment because I didn't have money to cover rent, and I didn't get paid till the following weekend. Yeah, and they wanted it like within weekend. That week. Yeah, so I went out actually on a Thursday. I got the notice on a Thursday, and I had to pay it by that Monday. Oh. I went out downtown like every day. I was just flexing tattoos. Like, dude, you want a tattoo? I'll do it for the low, blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, I ended up making $100 more than I needed to.
Let's go.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right. I told one of my homies, and he was Eric, literally. Yeah. He's like, dude, that's a fat risk. Like, he actually said, like, dude, do not do that. Yeah. And like, I was like, dude, I just have always like been the type to take a risk. Like, I would quit a job if I had like a bill to pay. Like, I would literally quit the job and like figure it out. Yeah. I just wing it. Like, that was always my mentality. But so yeah, I literally took the next week off of work because I wasn't gonna be paid till that next Friday. Yeah. And I told myself I made double, I was gonna quit. I made triple and have not worked for a single person since. Damn. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but there was like some slow times. 'Cause, I mean, it wasn't near what it is now. Like, I was just getting my name off the ground at that point. So it was like, it was crazy because I was making it, but like it got to be like spring. I didn't know like how seasons worked with like how busyness or like, you know what I mean, like the lack of like clients would work or whatever.
You didn't take that to a consideration.
So I almost actually started working for another lawn care company like in April of that year. And I got hired, and the dude tells me, he's like, yo, just so you know, like, if you get, like, a call that you need to do a tattoo or whatever, like, he knew I was, like, doing that. He's like, what have you been doing in the time being or whatever? So I told him. He was like, well, if someone, like, calls you wants $1,000 tattoo done, like, you can't just leave. I'm like, the fuck I can't. And, like, I was like, dude, fucking psych. Like, that's more than I get paid in 2 weeks here, bro. Like, get out of here. So I didn't say that to his face, obviously, but I was like, okay. So the next day I was supposed to start, right? Yeah. I woke up tired as fuck. I'm like, no, not going. I was just like, and that was that. I was like, nope, can't work for anyone else. Got to make this shit work. So,
wow. Yeah. So going back to that piece, like when you even like, when did you start tattooing yourself? When did you feel comfortable? What's that process like?
That's how I learned how to tattoo.
But that's like
the very first tattoo I ever did, like in my own hand, was on myself. I fixed this piece right here. It's a little FL. Me and a few homies. Picture of it. Yeah, you're good. Me and a few homies, we went to Florida randomly. We were, this is a few years prior to that. We were in a Runza. And like, it was a blizzard outside. We're like, dude, we do not want to fucking be here. Like, we were skateboarders, dude. You can't do shit. You know what I mean? And like, trying to skate indoors at the bay or whatever was cool, but like, your bones are like tensed up from like cold. You know what I mean? So we were sitting there. I was like, yo, let's fucking take a trip to Florida. We literally all went home, packed, left within an hour. What? And we all did a stick and poke of an FL on our like leg right there. Like, my legs were not touched with the tattoo machine at that point. Wow. Like, at all. So I did that, and that was the first thing I did. I just went over it, like, made it a little bit more like, you know, prominent, yeah, whatever. Like, went over a few spots, and like, that was it. So, but
like, when I think about tattooing myself, like, you know, the pain, but it's like, I would feel weird about it. But obviously, I've never done it.
It sucks. Yeah, I hate doing it now. Like, if it's like I got the money to pay someone else to do it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
So it's like, and like the only time I really do it is like if it's in a spot that it's like I'm known for line work, and if it's like just a line work tattoo, it's like it's really hard for me to trust other people. Yeah. Like, a lot of shit I have, I just don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, but like I have a specific artist that I use to do it, but it's like one of those things where it's like I kind of feel like why. like if you're a car mechanic, you're not gonna take your car to someone else to work on your car. You're gonna do it yourself.
Same thing with like a barbershop.
Yeah.
You know this guy's work.
Right. Yeah. So like the thing is like if I can reach it, why not? Like I just seem like a pussy if I'm not gonna do it myself. Like, or it's like why don't you trust yourself to do it yourself? But it sucks. It really does. Like having to keep your lines consistent and like self-inflicted pain. So your brain's telling you to stop what you're doing, but you're like, nah, fuck you.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you got the studio. So how did you like raise funding for this spot? Like what was like you saw like this possibility in sight. How did you budget your expenses? How'd you go about that?
I've actually never like, dude, I used to be so shitty with money. Like growing up, I like budgeting was not a thing.
Not a thing.
Like I would take my last $100 and buy like a new fit to go out on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like that was
I
was my
like
thing.
that too, bro.
Yeah. So like it's actually really funny. So doing it in my apartment, there was no overhead. Like tattooing, it's one of those things where like you get paid for your skill.
Exactly.
People pay you for like a skill that you have that took you a long time to like get as good as you can. You know what I mean? So doing it in my apartment, I didn't have like the expensive overhead, like another rent or whatever. Yeah. So I was just stacking money, and that's a whole nother thing. But basically, I was doing my apartment for 2 years, illegal, right? Yep. So like I had people in and out. I'm pretty sure my neighbors thought I was selling drugs or whatever. Anyway, so at one point, this kid I won't name names again, but he got pretty butthurt that I wouldn't do his half sleeve because it's just not something I wanted to do. Yeah. Plus, the dude was not like, had a super exhausting personality, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so I ended up doing another half sleeve that was like a milestone piece, and he actually like turned me into the health department just out of being petty. Yeah, just out of being petty. And
name is funny. Name. No,
it kind of, dude. My whole life, like any of my homies, they'll tell you like I have the dumbest luck, like the dumbest good luck. Like it doesn't make sense, but it happens. And I had about $20,000 saved up just from tattooing in the crib for like 2 years. Whatever.
I remember hollering at you one time, and you were like, "Yeah, I saved X amount of dollars."
Yeah,
and I was like,
I think it was when I bought my like first BMW. Yeah, and I just paid cash. But like, I actually before I bought that, or no, it was actually after that. Yeah, I had 20 grand saved up, and I actually almost flew out to Texas to buy a Porsche. There's a Porsche I wanted to buy out there, and I didn't just because like I have like really strong intuition with shit too. Yeah. So I was just like, all right, I probably shouldn't be spending all this money I have saved up. Like I can save it up again, whatever. But it's like, don't be an idiot. Yeah. Like keep the money, whatever. The next week, I didn't. So the next week, after I decided not to, my mom calls me. She's like, the health department guy just showed up, and he needs you to like meet with him or whatever. Blah blah. He says you're getting a warning for like tattooing. My mom was stressing out. She's always a warrior. Yeah. Shit like that. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, all right, bet, whatever. Yeah. Well, I'll go there. I was like, worst case scenario, I'm gonna get a slap on the wrist. Yep. Stop tattooing. Yep. Whatever. And anyway, so I met up with him, and I called Eric actually because he was actually out of town with this chick that knew that I was tattooing in the crib. And he goes, I called him, and he's like, well, guess Tyler's getting a shot. Damn. And like, because I got that warning or whatever, and I was like, yeah. So like, how do I just like go about like, you know, working tattooing? Next step, He's like, you need to either get hired by another shop or you need to open your own. And I was like, okay, what are the steps I need to take to open my own? He told me just get your licenses, find a spot, blah, blah, whatever. And I'd actually looked at this place like winter prior to that. Yeah. So I already knew this place, and this was out of chance. This was a random chance because my parents lived in the Highlands. And that winter, I drove down here. I was like, I'm just going to look around the Haymarket, see what they have for spaces, just in case. Because I knew I wasn't going to, like, last forever in my apartment. Exactly. You know what I mean? And, like, so that was the thing is I just stopped down here, found this spot. They wanted, like, $1,000 or something. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. But I was like, all right, I'll keep that noted, whatever. And this place needed redone completely.
Everything. I remember,
The walls were all different colors. Like, the flooring was, like, nasty green carpet, like, whatever. And so anyway, when that happened, I called them back immediately. I was like, yo, is that spot still available? It was like 8 months later, dude. Yeah. I was like, is that still? They're like, yeah, and the price is actually lower now. I was like, fucking bad, dude. Yeah. And the funny thing is, so I didn't trust banks for a while. Yeah. Like, I was living off grid for like 2 years, tattooing my apartment. Because first of all, that's illegal. Second of all, it's like, how am I paying taxes, bro? You know? So anyway, the guy, me and my landlord are super tight. He's super chill, but they own this whole building and everything. And I showed him, I was like, dude, all I got to like vouch for like the fact that I can pay for this is like, I write down everything in a book or whatever. And at the time I was making pretty good money, but nothing compared to what I am now. Yeah. And he's like, all right. So he's like, well, if you want this spot, like just as a security thing, we'll just take a year of rent up front. I'm like, all right, bet $12,000. got you. And they called it mattress money. No other places, like no other like rental agencies will take that. Yeah, that's like sketchy to them. Yeah. So I literally took a fucking backpack full of like 12 grand into this building over here. I was like, bro, I'm literally walking across the street from my car parked on the street or whatever. Like, I'm like, no one knows I have 12 grand in my backpack right now. Like, let's hope I make it there. Anyway, so we're just counting it all out. It was pretty funny, but I did that, and then it cost me like $6 grand to like
renovate everything.
The whole thing. This window wasn't in here, like none of the trim, nothing. Like we painted everything, everything. So no, it worked out pretty well. But so I had like $4 grand left over. And I was like, I was actually in here, like I was still tattooing my crib, like because I was like, I don't give a fuck, whatever. Like I'm getting a shop, whatever. Who cares? So I was just still trying to make money on the side. But I was in here at like 3 a.m. putting flooring in and shit. Like it was dope, but it worked out.
And I love the decorations of everybody's signatures on there.
Appreciate it.
So speaking about that, how do you build a successful customer base, and how do you like try and stand out from the crowd?
So my thing is, like I said, I taught myself, and I strongly believe, like I'm one of the only people in the Midwest that does my style of line work, like very fine line, single needle type stuff, you know, very light shading, whatever. And that's a very sought after like style right now, especially amongst like college kids, or you know what I mean? Like a lot of celebrities are getting like very fine line stuff. So like East Coast, West Coast, that's a huge thing over there.
Facts.
And I almost actually moved out to like LA before I opened the shop.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and like that's why I didn't, because I'm the only person out here. Yeah. So like a dime a dozen artists out there are doing exactly what I'm doing out here.
Facts.
And so like competing with that, especially when I got off the jump, no apprenticeship, nothing. Yeah. That was like I had a place to move into when all my buddies lives out there, everything. Me and Eric were gonna move out there together. We had the whole thing set up, and I'm just like, I went out there by myself a few months prior to that. And like when you're not with friends, you have a lot more time to like take everything in and like understand. Like there's a tattoo shop on every corner. I'm like, bro, there's literally, you have to make $100 grand out there a year just to live, like just to make it basic, to make it basic. You know what I mean? And so like I was like, bro, there's no way like this would make sense. So I like stay out here, and then like literally like my thought was like, okay, I'm the only one in the Midwest doing this.
Facts.
People are gonna have no choice but to travel to me, type of thing. And that's literally what it became. Yeah. And so like that was my thing, is like from the jump, my OCD is so fucking crazy, because like I literally just like, you know, anyone can tell a straight line from a shitty line. Oh yeah, anyone can. And the thing is like a lot of shops in the Midwest will be like, oh, we can't go that small or whatever. They're used to doing traditional style work, which is thick outlines, heavy shading. Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever tried to draw a straight line with a Sharpie on a piece of paper versus a pencil. True. A Sharpie's gonna look a lot straighter than the pencil is going to. You're gonna notice any inconsistencies. So me having OCD, like I've made it my like goal to just straight, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. And so that's literally what got my name to where it's at. That's beautiful. Like, it's crazy.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. Cool. Okay. In your opinion, what is the most important personality trait or strength someone needs to work in this industry? All right, other than having a strong lower back.
Right. Yeah. That is a huge thing. Actually, and it's kind of funny because that is actually, I'm pretty sure, I have this discussion with Eric, buddies, you know, people all the time. Like, the biggest thing that sets me aside, I feel like, from other artists, not only the quality of work, because that's a huge thing, obviously. Of course. But I would say it's, like, literally, like, the same, like, thing, where the quality of work and your personality. Yeah. You cannot have a standoffish, like, asshole mentality. True. Like, you can't just, because so many times I'll hear people be like, oh, yeah, I went to this shop, I didn't like the vibe or whatever, like, they're assholes about it. And I ended up taking their work. Like I ended up getting paid for shit they would have got paid for. Facts. Like, and the thing is like you have to be you have to level with people. You have to be understanding. You have to be like on their side and not just be like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that would look like shit. Blah blah. That's what I hear all these other artists doing a lot. Is they're just like completely just knock people down, like their ideas, and they want to like redesign it or whatever to make it their own. And my thing was, from the jump, like I design pieces for people all the time. Yeah. But from the jump, my thing was, okay, I'm going to literally do what every shop won't do, which most of the time people send me stuff from Pinterest. Other shops will not copy it and do it. Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm like, okay, no one copyrighted this photo that you just got sent. And you know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, as long as that's not a thing or whatever, or like if they found another artist to do it, I'm like, make sure you have the permission of that artist to do it. But if it's something you found online, that's fair game. Facts. Like, you can send me that as long as there's no copyright logo on it, I'm chilling, dude. Or I'll like tweak it just to make it my own. You know what I mean? But if someone sends me like, oh, I have a font website I use or whatever, I literally just have them find a font. type it in that font, screenshot it, send it to me. Yep. That's what you're getting. We're printing it off, tattooing it on you. And that is the biggest thing that like I think for me is like I do finger tattoos, I do all this shit, and like my thing is like, who am I to tell you what to get on your body forever?
Facts.
Like that's your choice. You're paying me to do that. You're paying me for my skill, not my opinion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people ask me my opinion about it all the time because they see like, you know, I know what looks good or whatever.
Exactly.
But I'm not just gonna knock someone's idea down.
Exactly.
Like that's on them.
Okay, so I have a friend who wants to start tattooing. So actually, this is like a figurative friend. This is actually somebody who's watching. So what are the 5 important things that he should be or she should be aware of before they start to own their own tattoo shop? So it could be like, do they need somebody who can book these clients? Do they need another?
No, if you want to own, so like I said, the way I got into it was super unorthodox. I was lucky enough, fortunate enough, and driven enough to focus on getting my work as clean as possible to the point where usually in the Midwest this is how it goes. Usually you're supposed to do an apprenticeship. Yep. You find artists you like, they teach you how to tattoo. You kind of adopt their style or whatever. You know, they show you what to do, or you can learn your own, whatever. That allows you to get hired at any other shop.
Facts.
My thing was, okay, I basically like didn't do an apprenticeship. I had 2 other offers of shops to work at. I turned the first one down. The other one was a shop I go to, which I was actually super nervous about when I opened mine. Like I didn't want there to be like bad blood with that or anything. And the owner was hella dope about it. He's like, bro, I'm super stoked for you to do that. If you ever want to leave your shop and work for me, you know, you got a spot. I was like, probably not gonna happen, but I hope it doesn't have to happen that way. And but no, we were super tight, and I turned both those down. So like the thing is like if you're gonna go that route, like I always tell people, like I have 2 people working for me right now. Yeah. And I'm teaching them how to tattoo the same way I basically taught myself, but the goal is to get them like to where I'm at in half the time. You know what I mean? And because I mean I just winged it. I was trial and error the whole way. So that's the thing is if you're gonna teach yourself, you don't want to pay like the $5 or $10 grand that costs to do an apprenticeship. Like that's not even what I do. I just get them jumped right in. Facts. I'm just like, yo, jump right in. We'll take the percentage, all that type of stuff, whatever. But if you're gonna go that route, you just want to focus on quality of work.
Focus on quality work.
Don't look at where you're gonna be in 5 years. Look at where you're gonna be at tomorrow.
Facts.
Like you can't have like a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, whatever. You gotta like day by day. Exactly. Each piece you gotta better than the last.
Because it's a craft. Like you're gonna potentially every day get better. So it is important to focus.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like steps. On my Instagram, I have more followers than Iron Brush, the top rated shop in Lincoln.
Bro, I looked at it the other day. I was like, wait. Yeah. This just blew up.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because like that's the thing. Like I've been open 2 years. I've been open 20. Yeah. And like the thing is like it's all. Like I do everything myself. I don't have anyone that works for me, does like my calendar, nothing. Like the crazy thing is like people that get like entitled or like, oh, you can't fit me in, whatever, and like, or you message me too late, all this stuff. I'm like, bro, I literally do this all myself. Yeah. Like I set aside a few hours at night, super late or super early in the morning, where I'm responding to everybody. Like in the busy season, when it's like super busy and I'm like a month or 2 out, I usually have like 80 to 150 messages to respond to every night. And like that gets stressful, and like there's definitely been times, there's been times where I've like, you know, I have to just like take a break, you know. But like I work every day. That's the thing. So it's like you really have to be driven to make it work. Yeah. And that's the thing about it is the best advice I was ever given. So like from one artist to me to another person trying to do it, never become content with where your work's at. Ooh. I have the most OCD of anyone I've ever met, and that is literally why I have less than 100 posts on my page. Like and like my thing is like that is like I post what I know people want to see from like my page because I have a very specific aesthetic with it. Yeah, and I do as many posts that I have on my page. I do that many tattoos in a week. Like, and that's the thing is like I'll post unique stuff or something that I think looks exactly. And that's the thing. People are always happy with what they get. Exactly. But it's like I will literally critique my shit so hard, like harder than anyone else could ever. And like that's the biggest thing is never. I get complimented on everything I do all the time, but you can never let your ego be above any of that. You know what I mean? You gotta look at yourself as still being learning because like you're always learning.
The starting time.
Yeah. You're always learning. So like you're never a professional. You know what I mean? Like you're never there.
Exactly.
But
okay, now let's transition and talk about your life. How has being a tattoo artist affect your personal life and social life? How does your dog feel about that? She knows now.
That's
she
all
knows.
I am.
Yeah.
But no, it's funny because, yeah, dude, I can't go downtown without like 30, 40 people coming up to me talking about tattoos. And like whoever I'm with.
Is it annoying somewhat?
Or? Oh, dude, it's mad annoying. Like I love all the clients, everybody that's interested or whatever. But it's like
I'm here to not talk about tattoos.
Dude, you don't want to like you guys get off work. You don't want to go home and talk about work. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, and that's like. And it's one of those things, like, I kind of asked for it. You know what I mean? True. It's like celebrities, dude. Like, I'm not, I wouldn't call myself a celebrity. I've had a lot of people say that. I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking tattoo artist in Nebraska. Like, I'm not a celebrity. Like, don't say that. But it's like one of those things, dude, where it's like, in moderation, it's dope, but I don't like attention at all, actually. Like, I'm like the last person that wants to be the center of attention. Yeah. So when I go out and shit, like, I have buddies that literally use that clout to, like, I was literally like downtown, like one of my buddies was back, and it's hilarious because I'm sure if he sees this, he's gonna know exactly what he's talking about. But we were downtown, and he moved away. He moved to California before like I actually got a shop and everything. So he wasn't aware of like how out there my name actually was. Yeah. And me and my other buddy were telling him like or I wasn't, but my other buddy was telling him when we were at like his mom's like party that he had, garden party, whatever. He was like, oh yeah, right, blah blah. We go downtown, and he's like, damn, dude, like everybody fucking knows you like that. I'm like, dude, we were literally telling you that. And anyway, it was late at night, whatever, and we're sitting at DP Dough. We're literally just sitting there, and there's like this group of girls to the right or whatever, and he was like trying to go over and talk to them, and I was like, dude, just go do it, whatever, blah blah blah. And as soon as he leaves, I'm like, look at my other buddy, I was like, if he fucking uses my name, I swear to God, dude. Literally within like a few words, he's like, yo, so you guys like tattoos or whatever? Like, you know Ty Smith tattoos? I was like, motherfucker, dude. I turned my head the opposite way, and so I was like, I'm not looking at this dude at all, whatever. But no, it's like, it's one of those things, like everywhere I go, anyone that goes out with me or whatever, they just know like it's gonna happen. Yeah. And like, my homies get annoyed with it sometimes, like not always, but like I'll be leaving a bar, someone will be like, oh, Ty Smith, blah blah, pulls me aside for 10 minutes. My other homies I don't know where the fuck they're at. Yeah. I'd like message them, be like, where the fuck you guys go? They're like, dude, you got caught up. I'm like, yeah, I fucking tried to get out of that. Like, but
because like being the only tunt in Lincoln, it's like, wait, are you? And then people start to talk. I'm too much of a people pleaser. Shout out to my girl Haley, she tells me that. But like sometimes it's hard for me to be like, hey yo, I gotta go, you know? Oh, yeah. Because I still want to give people the time of the day, you know? I care about you, but it's like, I also have to get back to the people that I came with, you know?
And that's a big thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people, that's like, and that goes along with the whole, like, what, like, being a tattoo artist, like, what sets me aside or whatever is, like, you have to have an inviting personality. Like, you have to have that, like, personality where you're, like, you know, because, dude, if I was just an asshole to everybody, they're not going to come, dude.
Why would I wait 4 hours you tattooing me?
Exactly.
And you're not even a cool person?
And sit there and, like, just talk in silence. Like, that's not a thing, dude. I try to make jokes, you know, like, be sarcastic. Like, I read the room really well and, like, read the people super well. Like, that's one of my, like, gifts, I feel like, is, like, Dude, I used to sell cars. Like I literally got hired on at like Performance before it was backseat or whatever. And they want you to have 2 years of salesman experience before then. I had like 0. I sold shit off Craigslist before that, like flipped cars. He's literally sold me, like literally got me the job because I knew how to talk to him.
Damn.
But like that's the thing. When I'm out and people like come up to me, like I'm not an asshole about it. I'll find the best way to be like, yo, I gotta go. Like DM me on Instagram if you want to talk about this or whatever. Like I'm super stoked to do it. But like this is not time.
Hell yeah.
Like so.
So, your morning routine is pretty much just catching up with everything, huh?
Yeah.
How does your morning routine
or at night, like, it just depends. Like, I mean, most people, like, you know, most people have common sense and recognize that, like, I got a lot of followers, so I probably have a lot of messages inquiring about tattoos. So, like, that's the thing is, like, but again, people pleasers, so I don't want to make people wait for, like, a day or 2 days, 3 days, whatever. Yeah. And because I'll message people back to be like, oh, I'm surprised you got back to me so soon, whatever. Like, this other artist took him a whole month or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Cause like, I'm trying to make the money, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get mine out here. So, but no, like morning routine, dude. I actually developed insomnia like last year during COVID because I was the only shop like taking on like clients or whatever like that, like so much. I was working 10-hour days, 7 days a week. I took the whole month of December off just as like a
you should have
chill, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't sleep. I was sleeping like 5 hours a day, like. That was it. And like I'd wake up and be like shaky a little bit because I wasn't getting enough sleep. So I actually got prescribed a medication for like OCD and everything that like knocks me the fuck out, dude.
You have no problem anymore?
No, yeah. I literally wake up. It's really funny because like my dad, I was making my business cards, like my new updated ones or whatever. Yeah. and I put 12 to 5 Monday through Saturday or whatever, because like I work Sunday still, but like that's just like a general time, you know. And he was like, 12 to 5, what the fuck? Like, you're only working 30 hours a week? Like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, dude, and he knows how much I make. And he's like, how the fuck are you doing that? Why don't you work more? I was like, people actually don't realize working 4 hours of tattooing, there was a study done. It's the equivalent to 8 to 10 hours of manual labor.
Hell no.
Like, you're so focused and drained.
You're tense a lot of the time.
Yeah. I go through contacts like 3 times as fast as you normally would. Like, dude, my shit dries out every day, dude. It's so
just keeping your eyes just open the whole time.
Staring, dude. Bloodshot eyes. Like I just smoked a fat ounce, dude. Like, it's so bad. But
okay. What do you shoot for? Actually, first off, I think we should preface this with, what does success mean to you?
I mean, for me personally, like a lot of people, like I've been very blessed to like get as far as I have with it and like make as much as I make and everything. But like, the crazy thing is, like, this isn't my end all be all. That's what I was going to
ask you earlier. Like, is tattooing just like one of the, the vessels that you're going to take and to do?
For me, it's like a stepping
stuff?
stone. Like, I have buddies now, like, I have other buddies that open their own business and everything. Like, I have one of my other really good friends. He's owns a real estate agency that he just started.
What's his name?
Chase Collier. He owns I Heart Homes. And
that's what's up.
Him and I are actually, like, that's my thing is, like, I'm really, like, familiar. Like, I used to remodel houses and stuff, like, do interior remodeling. I've always been, like, into woodworking and shit like that and everything. And
that
like,
table's dope.
Yeah, thank you. And like, so that was like my main thing. Like, that's what I was like trying to go into before tattooing.
Yeah.
And like, I love tattooing. Like, I literally like love doing it now, and like I love like it being a part of me. But like, everybody always asks like, you know, what my goal is or whatever, and like, I'm gonna actually open another shop, hire other artists to work there.
Hell yeah.
Make double off of them what I make now, because that's like the whole how tattooing works or whatever.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna get to the point where I'm in here like once or twice a week, like if that. But that's my thing is like, I love doing it, but you know, it's not. Everybody always asks me like, oh, so like you plan on doing this till you retire or whatever? Like, without knowing, like, dude, I've always been the type of person to have 5 to 10 other like opportunities in my back pocket, just to pull out whenever I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like, and like I've been, like I said, blessed enough to be able to like make as much as I make. Like, I've given like family, like I'm gonna like try to like, you know, get into other businesses, like start other stuff to where like I have other people working for that. Get into real estate. That's the biggest thing. Is just
that's
like,
gonna be
owning a bunch of properties or whatever. So
that's the way to go.
Yeah,
like your landlord.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So who have been the 3 most influential people in your growth during your tattoo kind of career?
I would say,
other than the guy who gave you the first tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, and that was crazy, dude. The only reason I got into it was because he told me, like, that was one of the things I left out too. Is like, the only reason I got into tattooing was because I was like doing like random jobs here and there, mostly like labor, you know what I mean? Just like, and it was crazy because he showed me what he was making a month doing it or whatever. And like at the time I was like, damn, dude, that's a fuckload of money, you know, whatever. And so like, that's why now I'm making like way more than that is. And I'm just like, what? Like, that shit's crazy. But I wouldn't even say like him really. Like my buddy that started tattooing me after all that, like kind of my mentor with it or whatever, TJ, he moved out to South Carolina. They actually, him and his brother own the craft axe throwing bar here in town.
Oh shit, right over there.
Yeah, so they like actually moved, they owned the escape room. They used to own that, sold that, opened the craft axe, and they moved out to like South Carolina, like south, to open more of those down there. And with tattooing anyway, he's a big, like I said, he gave me that like quote, he's like, never like, you know, don't ever think you're good enough, like whatever. And so like that helped me a lot. But honestly, like what drives me the most is like, I came from nothing. Like my parents were pretty, like we weren't broke by any means, but I was oldest of 6, dude. Like money only goes so far with that many people. And like I had to provide, like I was fed, obviously, I had clothes, whatever, all that stuff. But anything I wanted that was like extra, I had to buy. I had to work for it myself. And like that was kind of the thing is like, I always tell them like, I appreciate being taught that so much growing up. Because that made me like driven, you know what I mean? Facts. And like my grandpa, my parents are probably like 2 most like influential, like, you know what I mean? Like that's just like, my grandpa was a serial entrepreneur too. Like he had a bunch of businesses. That's
probably where it came from.
Yeah, so you know, it's runs in the family.
So what's your biggest failure and like what did you learn from it?
Oh, shit.
I wouldn't even, let's not even say it's a failure. What is the biggest lesson? How'd you like, you know, what did you learn from that?
Again, without naming names, I'm always no, and it's not. And this is nothing. Like it ended really bad. Like we still haven't spoke since it all happened or whatever. But everybody always tells you, like, you know how people always give you advice or whatever, and you're like, no, I'm gonna figure it out myself. I'm gonna do it. I don't think that ever happened to me, type of thing. It ends up happening to you. I don't give a fuck who you are. It's gonna happen. I hired one of my best friends on to start tattooing. He was kind of in a shit position in life, whatever. I like tried to offer him some help, get him like going, whatever. I was like, bro, I'm making all this money, blah, blah, whatever. And it kind of just blew up in my face. And it wasn't necessarily like, yeah, it sucked. Like I still haven't spoke, like I said, but it wasn't necessarily like a failure type of thing. Like, yeah, it sucks that it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And he didn't really see like how much I helped him. It's one of those things where you can give someone an inch and they take a mile type of thing. And like, but my thing is I don't hold grudges on anyone. Like I don't care. If you apologize, if you apologize, like even without an apology, like I just let it go. Like you can't, there's no like need to stress it. That's not going to help you. You know what I mean? That's not going to get you anywhere. Letting it go is going to do way more for you than holding on to it. And even when people like apologize, if someone were to like, you know, fucking do something terrible. As long as they apologize and I can tell they're sincere. Done. Water under the bridge. Whatever. But that was kind of the biggest thing is I kind of learned like, yo, like I have my mom, my sister working for me. Like they go over to my house. Like my sister, she's 16. I pay her weekly just to go over, let my dog out, do my dishes, whatever, you know, just like give her a little job to start, you know. But some responsibilities. And then my mom like meal preps for me every day.
Oh, like, hell whatever,
all that stuff, So, and then I have her just like being like my personal assistant, really, like my aftercare that I have or whatever. She got all that set up. Like she went like called all the companies.
And everything.
Well, no, we got that all packaged. Like she just got everything lined up to do it.
Or
whatever. So like I pay her to do that type of stuff like once a week or whatever. But like aside from that, hiring friends or family that you're working with daily, like, and there has to be that like that disconnect of like, okay, this is my boss, whatever. So like, and most of the time that's not the case. So like if I was working, like if my mom was working here or something, that would not probably go over well. You know what I mean? Like or whatever.
Mom, shut up.
No, and it's just like. And that's the thing is like they both understand. Like I give them a list of stuff I want done. Get it done, whatever. I'm not like on their ass about it. I'm just like ask them about it, whatever. So that was kind of the thing is like you just gotta learn from your mistakes. And not, you know, kind of use that like natural trial and error. You know what I mean? Didn't work the first time, probably not gonna work again. So that's kind of what I've learned is like I'll hire people that I'm homies with, but not like if there was like the problem with the issue that happened that I learned from, I guess. Him and I were friends back in high school. He was gone for 6 years.
Damn.
There was a period in my life before I started tattooing where I became a fucking asshole with people because I was literally like, I was that pushover friend in high school. I just kind of did whatever, let all my homies like talk down on me, whatever. I didn't really take it to heart. You know what I mean? But it's like they would always like say whatever make them look best. Or whatever. And then there was a point in my life where I was literally like, nah, fuck this. What I say goes. Like, this is my shit, whatever. It's just like that transition period. He wasn't there for that. And he was that friend that was like the main dude in our friend group and everything.
Who did that.
So when he got back and he sees like the roles have switched, like my name is out there like that or whatever, all this stuff. I'm now his boss, whatever. The disconnect of respect, like the friend respect / boss respect wasn't really there.
There wasn't
So,
that.
and I can't fault him for that. That's whatever, like I get it, he was gone, but you can't expect everybody to be the same person they were 6 years ago.
Or
like 10 years ago.
Especially in your 20s. There's a lot of change happening in your 20s.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why me and Eric are such good friends. Like I'm very much so like my way or no way type of guy. And I lived with him for 2 years. And he's a very like, all right, I'm just gonna follow. So I'm pretty easygoing, but like when I want something done, I'm
it's gonna
get
happen.
it done.
I mean, that's how you got this.
Exactly.
What are your hobbies outside of, you know, outside of artistry?
As you know, I'm a really big car guy.
Okay, no, how many sports cars have you had? Because I know you had the Audi before the BM, right?
The what?
The Audi?
I had an Audi back in I had one Audi actually. That was a few years back. That's probably like
that red one,
like
right?
7 years ago probably now. But last year alone, or not this last year. So go back to 2020.
So 2020.
Yeah. I think I counted like 12 cars. Yeah, dude. When we got shut down for COVID, I had a shit ton of money saved up because like after I opened the shop, I was just in here every day working, stacking money, whatever. We got shut down. I had 6 weeks off, whatever.
A whip.
I had cash saved. No, it's funny because I bought a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Never ridden a bike a day in my life before that. Went and bought it off the lot, Star City. Taught myself how to drive it home. My buddy, I had my buddy drive with me. Well, we actually drove out to Des Moines because I was gonna buy an M3, and it was super shitty. Like whatever, I was not gonna pay that much money, so I had all this cash in my back seat. And we stopped by. I called one of my homies that worked at Star City. I was like, "Yo, like when you guys close?" He's like, "You got this time, whatever."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna come through, look for a bike." So I bought one off lot. Never driven it before ever. Drove it home. I rode it a few times, and then I bought another. I think I had. I want to say I had like 6 or 7 BMWs that year. Yeah, I flew out to Denver to buy one. I bought one that was like from this dude in Omaha. And at least when I was still in my last apartment, right? I had the shop, whatever. But I had like, at one point I had my black 3 Series. I had my gray 3 Series and my brand new 4 Series all lined up at the apartment. Like I was trying to sell the other ones, whatever. Yeah. Like, I had them all. And then I bought a Jeep Wrangler. And I
remember you having the Jeep.
Yeah, and then I moved, and then I bought another 4 Series. I bought the i8. I actually flew out to San Diego to buy the i8.
Yeah, I was telling them that you had the i8.
Yeah.
And you had it wrapped?
Yeah, I got it wrapped, yeah. So it was matte gray, yeah. It was like a satin gray, so it was like a shinier version of a matte.
Yeah.
But no, I actually flew out to San Diego with like $60K cash in my backpack. Through like TSA, all that stuff, dude. Yeah, it was crazy, dude.
Sketch.
Yeah, no, I looked it up. I was like, what? Like my search history was like, what's the amount that you can fly domestically without getting stopped? You know what I mean? But yeah, there's no cap on domestic like cash travel, by the way. So yeah, you can like go with like a couple mil if you want, but yeah, it's 10 grand. Like internationally, yeah. So I drove out there, or I flew out there, drove it back.
60 wrap.
Yeah.
Is that like a hybrid? The i8?
Yeah. So it's actually funny because it's half electric, which what makes it so fast off the jump.
Yeah.
And I'm beating like Hellcats and all this shit. Like everybody wants to race me all the time.
Yep.
And they're like, dude, what's that got? I was like, it's got a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder in it, bro. Like, I was like, you just got fucking gapped by a 3-cylinder, bro. Like, yeah, it's got small ass engine in it, but it's electric, so it's like pretty quick. But I got rid of that because, like I said, dude, I don't like attention. That shit everywhere I got. What do you do for a living, bro? Like all that type of stuff. I'm like, dude, I literally have my logo on the side window. Don't talk to me.
Yeah. But then, what did you get right after that?
So actually, I sold that. I had my 4 Series. I actually paid this buddy I was telling you about. Yeah. I flew him out to Oregon to buy this 4 Series for me because the same dealership bought my i8 from me. And I flew him out there to buy it. The second gear sync rotor was bad. Yeah. So I went to go trade it in for this X5, but then they're like, dude, we can't take this in. The whole transmission needs rebuilt. So me being how I am with my words or whatever, able to like talk myself in and out of shit, I called this dealership. I'm like, yo, you guys got to buy this car back because it is you fucked me, basically. Yeah. And so they ended up buying it back. And then I went to BMW, the dealership, and there's a 2021 4 Series they had or whatever, and I was trying to get that. And I fucked my credit up when I was younger. Like I didn't give a shit, dude. I was like, dude, living off grid. Like I didn't give a fuck what I owed, anyone money, whatever.
As long as I had.
And so my income alone was able to get me approved for the 4 Series.
For the credit.
Yeah. So like I just had to put 30 grand down. I put 35 down. It was a $70,000 car. So I put 35 grand down. I didn't care about the payments. I made enough. I was like, don't give a shit. And then from there, I actually had that one wrapped and everything. And I actually went into BMW back in May because I still had that car. Like I had it for like 5-6 months, and I was in there getting the fin resealed because like water got in like the fin and it fucked up the module for like the navigation, all that stuff, whatever. And like the whole dash is digital, like all the dash, everything. So like was fucking that up. So we went in there and I saw the 2022 M8 out on the lot, and I had remembered like years when those cars came out in 2018, I want to say they replaced the M6 with the M8. Yep. So I saw those on a lot because I'd go, dude. Before I had money or anything like that, before I was in tattooing, I would drive through like the Ridge. I would drive through like dealerships, just like window shop. You know what I mean? Like I want to get there one day, and I saw that car, and I knew I wanted that. But I was like, dude, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford it. It's a $130,000 car. And I was like, so I go in there, and I was like, yo, just out of curiosity, I was waiting for the glue to dry. Yeah. I was like, just out of curiosity, like, can you run my shit and see how much I'd have to put down? Because I ordered a brand new 2021 M4, and I was supposed to put 30 grand down on that one. Yeah. And they run my stuff. They come back, they're like, yeah, we can do that for your trade-in plus 30 grand down. I was like, bet. Went to the bank, fucking just came back. Didn't even take the other one home. Just drove the inmate off lot.
Just keep that in there.
Dude, it was crazy, but yeah. So that's what I'm driving now, and I got a TRX, like a brand new TRX too. So I got keep the Beamer garage, drive the TRX daily, which sucks because it's like 10 miles a gallon.
Yeah. But hold on, we'll be right back. What is one thing people gloss over about supercars? Since it seems like there's a lot of digital problems.
Oh yeah, so like, what do you mean like gloss over?
Because a lot of people, obviously, I'm gonna get the sports car, but what do they not think about? Is it the price of oil changes? You shouldn't even be thinking about price of oil changes. If you get that
I mean that's the thing. Like if you're gonna buy a supercar, like technically the i8 was a supercar, the M8's technically a supercar if you want to get real technical about it. But like most people when they think of supercars, think of like Ferraris, Lambos, whatever. I fucking hate Lamborghinis.
Oh,
I think they would look like I
don't think they would. They look comfortable. I think they're
that on top of like I like clean looking shit.
Yeah.
And to me, they just look like a fucking transformer. Like that and like it just doesn't like it's just too much. Like like I said, dude, I don't like attention that much.
Yeah.
I drive the cars that I drive because I'm a car guy. Like I like going fast. Like I went 165 down the highway over here in my M8, not even realizing it. But like I need an engine. You know what I mean? I need a turbocharged engine. Like whatever. I need to go fast. Like that's how I am. And I just like BMW. I like the luxury of like the interior. It's all put together real well.
Yep.
And like the only other supercar I would get honestly would be like a Ferrari. Like my dream car is a Ferrari 488. Yep.
Let's go.
GTV, my guy, yeah. But that's my dream car. But no, like that's the thing is like people are always like, oh, oil change, like cost of maintenance is gonna suck. It's like, dude, if you have the money to pay for that, then you should not be worried about that. Like at all. And like my thing is like I'm into that, but you gotta use like that 10% rule of thumb for like your income or whatever. Like you should only be paying 10% for your car payment or whatever payment you're paying. And so like, that's my thing. But no, that's why I got the M8 because it's like the perfect, like, it's not in your face, but it's like out there enough that it's like people are like, damn, that's sick as fuck.
What color?
Or whatever. Black. Always, dude. Black
perfect.
on black.
Yeah.
Always. But no, that's the thing. Most people, like people are like, oh, BMWs cost a lot. Like luxury cars are gonna cost a lot to like maintain. It's like, yeah, but like American made shit has more issues more frequently.
That's very
so
true.
Like it really levels itself out because like the amount of like because you're supposed to put full synthetic oil in your like luxury cars or like turbocharged engines and everything like that. It'll last longer. You don't have to get an oil change every like every 5,000 miles. You go every 10,000. So it's like, is it really that much more? You're saving money. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
So that's kind of the main thing.
Okay. So what are 3 things we should know about you that we didn't touch on? We learned that you have OCD.
Yeah.
What are some other things?
I basically have an ADHD since I was 8 years old. Damn. I learned to like maintain everything. I was on medication for it up until I was like 20 years old.
They have you on Ritalin or something?
Yeah, I was on like Adderall and stuff, but I actually didn't take it. I sold it and got weed. I sold it and got weed in high school, but nah. Sorry, Mom. But no, I already told her that actually. She was like mad but wasn't mad because I did it in a very smart way.
Yeah.
But that and then I don't know, dude. I've always just like not really been like one to follow like cookie cutter shit.
No,
like I just want to like I'm out here to do me, like fuck the traditional sense of shit.
That's exactly why we had you on this. Yeah. Okay. It's time for rapid fire questions.
Oh shit.
You ready?
Yeah.
So what tattoo artist is absolutely killing it right now?
Tattoo artist?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That we should all, tune in.
I think
and look at.
So and not just going based off like
clout or whatever.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like a big like a lot of the artists that like influenced me, I guess, with like style and everything. Like Bang Bang, New York. The dude kind of like had the same come up as I did. York.
Yeah.
Really, he's crazy. He's worth like a couple mil, I'm sure. But he's got a few shops in New York and everything. But these are like East Coast, West Coast type stuff.
Yeah.
Dr. Wu. He's
Dr. Wu.
He tattooed Mac Miller's handpiece.
Oh,
a lot of celebrities, like he's got like a 2-year waiting list. Everything. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. He tattoos celebrities all the time. He does like super like realistic but minimal style work. You know what I mean? Like he's got he calls it Slim Needle. Like he's got like his own like independent suite. He calls it Hideaway Suite or whatever. Like all this stuff in LA. Yeah, it's crazy. And then like Winter Stone, he's tattooed like celebrities and everything. Bang Bang did Justin Bieber's whole like all his like stomach piece and everything on a plane. tattooed LeBron in LeBron's basement. Tattooed Rihanna. That's how he got his name out there, because he tattooed Rihanna, that gun she has right here.
Yeah.
He tattooed that. No one else would do it, and he did it. He was learning at this point. He literally did that tattoo. Yeah, she walked in. He did it. He got his name out there. That blew him up basically. But yeah, they're pretty good.
On a plane.
So, yeah, that's wild, dude.
I mean, they on the PJ private
jet. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, fuck that, dude.
That's so nerve wracking.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I fuck up my chest.
I've like people be on their phones while I'm tattooing them. I'm like, dude, if you drop the phone, let it fall.
Yeah.
Like, don't grab that. Like, it's falling on your face, it's smashing your face. This tattoo's gonna look mint. Like, don't worry about it.
If you could add one thing to your BMW, what would it be?
Add one thing to it?
Yeah, if you could add one thing to it.
Oh shit. I mean, I'm gonna do. I got one on order that's coming. The same car, but I just fully spec'd it out. But shit, dude, I don't even know. Like, I'm gonna be adding like 10 grand worth of stuff to it, performance wise. But nah, dude. Like, add one thing. That's a hard question, dude. A bigger screen in the console. I don't know. Like, it's got a pretty decent sized screen, but like,
hell yeah. Are you a more creative person at night or in the morning?
Do not talk to me in the morning. Dude, I go to Scooters, bro. That's one thing everybody that knows me knows. I'm not a morning person. I gotta wake up. I gotta be awake for at least 30 minutes to an hour before I like talk to anyone. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, people just be too hyped in the morning. I'm like, bro,
that's me.
It's not even 10 a.m., bro. Like, chill. Yeah. Like, but yeah, no, I'd say like more creative, like throughout the day. Honestly, there's not really like, it's like you kind of just have that or you don't. You know,
True.
It's like not really something that like you like find. It's just like there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, what is the latest purchase that wasn't smart?
Shit, dude. I mean, I just took a trip out to California, and like I'm always there way too long.
Yeah.
Like 4 days was too long for me. Like I used to go out there 4 or 5 times a year, but like I was chilling, you know what I mean? Whatever. It's winter, so like it was gloomy a little bit. The first 2 days were dope, but like I just realized how much I fucking hate people when I go out there, because
there's a lot of people.
Yeah. So like I definitely dropped like $5 grand on that trip, like a 4-day trip. Like it wasn't not smart. Like I needed the time off, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I've been trying to be like a lot smarter with money lately. But dude, I'll just randomly be on like my laptop late at night. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna drop $500 on some clothes real quick.
Yeah.
Like, dog, chill. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve? Lack of common sense.
Damn.
People that know me, everyone that knows me and watches will probably be like, I could have called that out.
Yeah.
I have the worst road rage of all time. I buy fast cars. I tell my mom this all the time. Like she doesn't drive slow or whatever, but like people that drive slow and just don't pay attention, because she like always gives me. I always drive 10 to 15 miles an hour over the speed limit. Always, everywhere I go. And my mom's like, "You're gonna get in an accident, whatever." I'm like, no, because most people that drive fast or like in the cars and shit like that or whatever, they're more observant.
Of course. We're
going faster than the flow of traffic. We're going to be constantly looking out. If you're going slow, I've been caught behind someone going slow that I almost got hit because they were going so slow. I couldn't turn.
Exactly, yep.
It's like that stuff, or like just ignorance alone.
Yep.
Like, dude, I'm in a hurry throughout the day. And you're working. I was just at Wendy's, dude. They took 20 minutes. I got 2.
This is fast food.
I got 2 crispy chicken sandwiches. I know you guys pull that shit out the fryer ASAP, dude. Like, bro, I was like, there's no reason it should be taking this long.
Yeah.
But just like lack of common sense is my biggest pet peeve. Like people that don't have the understanding of other people's time, other people's, like, you know what I mean? Like,
facts.
You're not the only person. Like, there's this term Sonder that I really like. Level with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's basically the understanding and realization that each passerby has a life just as complex and meaningful as your own.
Yeah.
Like they got their own shit going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're not the only person in this world. This is not your world, bro.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, just common sense.
Hell yeah. So if you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Dude, again, people are gonna be like Chipotle, but like I used to eat that like 5 or 6 times a week, honestly, dude.
Damn.
And like,
I mean, it's quick and it's
now I have my
solid.
mom meal prep for me, but I had her figure out the ingredients for the vinaigrette dressing they use there, because I get that. I had to put that on. Like I need my sauces, dude.
Yeah.
But she makes white rice and salmon.
Ooh.
So like that's literally what I eat like 5 out of 7 days a week. Yeah, so that's probably what I eat the rest of my life.
What song could you sing on stage with your favorite band or musician that you know word for word?
Anything Mac Miller or Eminem. I don't know. Like I can't just say one song.
Yeah, it has to be Mac Miller.
Yeah.
I think my song with Mac Miller would have to be what is that?
Diablo from Faces.
Diablo. What is the? Can you feel it? I forget. It's the intro song right after. Oh my God. We'll talk about it later. Okay, if a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be?
Dude, what genre? I mean, probably comedy.
Hell yeah.
I just have a lot of random shit that I did and like happened. No one like everybody's like, what the fuck? Like where'd that come from? Yeah. You know what I mean? Or whatever, and like just works out.
Facts.
People don't realize like I just kind of have a just go with the flow type of mentality and like it just luckily works out.
I love it. And last question. Did you enjoy your time on Blazin A Trail?
Oh yes, sir.
Of course. Sir. Yeah. Okay. You have any questions for us?
Not really. I'm not a good like question asker. I let the questions be asked to me, dude. That's all I know how to do.
You got anything to promote, brother?
I got my own aftercare that I just came out with. My Instagram. Yeah. I just send everybody there. You got any questions about anything? Just DM me on Instagram.
So yeah, where can people find you and tell them like where?
At TySmith_tattoos. It should be the first one that pops up. It's pretty well, you know. But yeah, on Instagram.
Website?
Yeah, I don't have a website. I just use Instagram. It's free, you know.
Yeah. So true.
Utilize it, you know.
Okay, so I would like to thank you all for listening to Blazin' Trail Podcast. Remember to leave a review, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on what you learned about our friend Ty. Make sure to follow us at Blazin' Trail Podcast on Instagram. As you can see, each of us are all on a different path. So don't compare your journey to someone else's. So don't be so hard on yourself because the world already is.
Right.
And to make a change, always start with yourself because you are the one. So make it happen.
Yes, sir. Dope.